Hello and welcome to Easy Like a Sunday Morn. I'm your host, Shane Lockwood, and today is August 3rd, 2014. Thank you for tuning in every week, and thank you for those people who are listening for the very first time. And I want to send a special shout out to all those who are directing traffic towards my podcast and YouTube channels. I much appreciate it, because every view counts, every click of the like counts, every subscriber counts. So that's fantastic, guys. Now, this week's show, I'm going to be talking about Guardians of the Galaxy, because I went to an advanced screening here in Australia. Now, I know that it's released in the States about the same time, and the cinemas will release films, I think, early, to avoid a lot of the piracy that goes on, and they're trying to basically recoup as much money on their investment as possible. So that's why they do advanced screenings and things like that. So do go along and see it. I thoroughly recommend it, but I'll talk about it later. Having a chat with Cheekychickenhead. Not a chat. I want to send a shout out and a congratulation to her, because she now has over 10,000 subscribers and over 1 million views on her YouTube channel. Fantastic stuff. Tam is a great person, and she's one of these people, she doesn't like getting thumbs down and things like that, but she's starting to get over that and realise that it doesn't matter how popular your videos are, someone's always going to thumb them down. Now, she hasn't cheated. She hasn't bought subscribers. She hasn't bought views. This is really hard-earned stuff for her. So, on her behalf, on her, what do you call it? She's done the hard yards. She's put in a lot of work. She deserves every success that she's got, and more so. I think she deserves to be on top of YouTube, really. Not in a dirty way, mind you, but in the viewing figures. Do pop over and subscribe to her channel. The link to her channel will be in the comment section down below, the description box down below, if you're listening to this on Spreaker or Stitcher or YouTube. You should have the information there. If you're listening to this through YouTube, you should be able to have a clickable link to her channel. Now, what's happened? Yesterday, I asked in the Facebook group for people to give me suggestions as to what they'd like to talk about. Now, my good friend Gus said, well, why don't you talk about my charity event? So I'm thinking, okay, yep, that's cool. Then, of course, one of his friends, one of my former friends, come on and started posting nonsense on there, and I had to delete it. And I wasn't really impressed. I basically had replied to the guy and said, I thought you were a Christian. And he replied back something or other that I didn't see. I couldn't read it, because I was on my mobile phone at the time. I thought, well, you know what, I'm just going to block the guy. I'd unfriended him. No, he unfriended me over some religious stuff. And I thought, no, I'm not going to put up with this nonsense anymore. These people are supposed to be spiritual. And I don't care what your religious beliefs are or your spiritual beliefs are. But if you are claiming to be spiritual or religious in any way, shape or form, there's a certain, expectation that your behaviour would be, less than in the gutter. But that's just me. What do you think? But yeah. So what I'm going to do here, with that unfortunate event in mind, and out of the way, I should say, out of mind, out of mind, doesn't matter. The Tough Car Charity Challenge, no, what is it called? I've got it here written down. I really should read my notes. It's the Tough Car Charity Toy Run. And, excuse me, let's start again. It's the Tough Car Charity Toy Run 2014, and it's been running, I think, this is the second year, I think. And what it is, it's like, you grab all your mates, and if you've got like a tough car, that is like a car that's been hotted up, super engine, you know, the the works. You've hotted up your car to the maximum. What you can do is buy some brand new toys. The toys have to be brand new for hygiene purposes and things like that. And on the 1st of November at 5:30 in the evening, you'll meet at the Jeps Cross Homemaker Centre, and they'll go for a spin around the place, around the city, and a few other places. Because what they're going to do is these toys are a donation that goes. Okay, it goes to the Childhood Cancer and to Cystic Fibrosis charities. So they're looking for donations for children aged 6 months to 10 years, and there are trophies going to be handed out as well. Oh, that's right. The toys have to be new because they're being donated to sick children. So that's for hygiene and stuff purposes. And yeah, I think it's a fantastic charity that this guy is doing. Just raising funds and doing what he loves. Gus is his name, and he is a single father of like 2 kids, and he's doing it really well, actually. I think he's a great father. He's a great person, and I knew him from the old neighbourhood. He didn't live where we did, but he was friends of people that did, and now he lives near me, which is strange, but fun. So if you've got nothing better to do, go to, on the 1st of November, go to the Tough Car Charity Toy Run. Why not? I'll find out some more details, and I'll post a link down below, and find out. Even if you can't attend, maybe consider getting a few toys, and I'll find a way of like getting toys to him. We'll sort that out later. Now, I thought what I'd do is I'm very light on material this week because yesterday I went to an artists and writers get together, and it's very, very cold in Adelaide, and there wasn't that many people there, and there wasn't a whole lot of artwork being done, but I've got myself a copy of How to Draw the Marvel Way, and I'm going to go through that. I've flicked through it, but I'm going to have to go through and practice some of my art and stuff and get my own comic up and running, which should be good. Please excuse any sirens you may hear in the background. I live near a major highway, arterial road. It happens sometimes. And I'm recording this really, really late, but it doesn't matter. What else is happening? Yes, some people have complained about the audio quality of this podcast, and I've noticed it as well. There's a sort of a washed out underwater sound to the podcast, and I'm trying to clean that up as much as possible. I think that the microphone that I'm using is damaged, so anybody that promised me microphones and that sort of stuff, please do send them, or let me know that you're interested in sending them, and I will update you on my postal address and we can get that happening. But I will need a new microphone or something at this stage. I don't think I need a condenser mic because that will amplify the background noise of my computer, and I don't really want that. I'm looking for something that just picks up the human voice, but within like a reasonable price range. I'm not looking for over-the-top stuff. I'm not looking for U-Butte quality stuff because I just don't really need it at this stage. Later on, maybe I will, but I'm not in a recording studio. I'm just at home doing this. Maybe when I'm out and about, I may need like a portable MP3 recorder. But once again, I have to look at how do I cancel the wind and a lot of the background noise. I'll have to look into that. That's something that maybe some of you audio people will have some clues about. Please leave comments and suggestions in the description area, in the comments area down below. I thought what I'd do is talk about the Body Count album again. I I thought, because I was going to do a review of it on YouTube, but I just didn't get around to it, really. Oh, that's right, that's the other thing. Yesterday I had to work on my backyard, tidying that up, doing the weeding and stuff like that. So I've done most of that. I'll have to get out there and do that again tomorrow. Today I will possibly film a few videos if I've got time, if I've got daylight. But yeah. So yeah, the Body Count album, I thought I'd go through the track listing because a lot of people, they don't get what he's doing with the album. A lot of what Ice-T does, Ice-T is the lead singer of the band Body Count, and he's known mainly as a rapper, but he also stars in Law and Order SVU. And he's been doing that for nearly 15 years, and I think that's got to be a record for playing the same character. And if they didn't like him, they would have got rid of him a long time ago. But the first track on the album is called Talk, Get Shot, and Where I've Whistled is the S-bomb. Basically, the song is about all his haters, you know, the people that sort of talk nonsense on YouTube and Twitter and things like that. And there's a really hilarious film clip where someone's dissing him and stuff like that on their phone, on Twitter. And next minute, the phone starts playing up, and you see Ice-T's face, pull an angry face, and next minute, a hand goes straight through the mobile phone, out into the real world, and grabs the guy and pulls him into a rock concert, and then other parts of the thing about like people that are dissing them and they're going around like shooting them and stuff like that. But it's all over the top comedy. It's not to be taken seriously at all. It's just it's usually one of those boasting songs that a lot of artists do. Pray for Death is just another one of these boasting songs. I like the music in it. I like the beats in it. 99 Problems, BC, is a replay of the song 99 Problems, but ain't one. And a lot of people think, oh, okay, Jay-Z did the song 99 Problems, but back in the day, Ice-T had done it first, and Jay-Z had done a cover version of it. But the cover version went into the top 10, you see. But a lot of Ice-T's music has never had radio play because of the lyrics and the controversial nature of some of the subject matter. There's a brilliant song called Back to Rehab, and I think this is a response to Amy Winehouse. She had a song saying, you know, they wanted me to go back to rehab. No, no, no. And look what happened to her. She ended up dead. So this is a response to that. It's, if you're on drugs, go back to rehab. Get off the drugs. Get clean. And a lot of my haters can take that message to heart too. Go back to rehab. Get off the drugs. Seriously. And the next song is called Manslaughter. And it's to do with, how can I put this? How there was a time when we knew where we stood as men. We knew where we stood. We knew we had something to fight for. And we had something to stand up for. And this sort of song is saying, oh, look, because, you know, what does manhood mean? What does it mean to be a man? And, you know, we need to take things a little bit more seriously and stop whinging and whining about the small stuff, I think. Yeah, it's a very good song. And my haters need the next one as well. It's called Get a Job. And just a simple message about learning to stand on your own 2 feet, get some responsibility, get some money together, and stop feeding off other people. And, you know, yeah, it's about dignity and things like that. The next song is called Institutionalized 2014, and it's a modern take on a song called Institutionalized by Suicidal Tendencies. Now, if you're a fan of Suicidal Tendencies, I don't think you'll be too harsh on this, because this is all modern, and they talk about like Xboxes and stuff like that. I thought it was quite funny. It's very funny. A lot of Ice-T's humour, a lot of his songs and things are very humorous, and they're not to be taken seriously. They're very over the top. The next song is called Pop Bubble, and it's talking about how people in the music industry, they basically lie on their albums, and so they say how rich they are, what they, where their money's coming from, and all this sort of stuff, but it's all fake. And this song is basically highlighting like where it's all fake. And if you go back through Ice-T's albums, he's told the truth throughout all of them. A lot of the times he's just talking about his origin, like his parents' death, his time in the military, etc., etc., excuse me, etc. and etc. So yeah, very, very interesting song. I like it. I like it a lot. Enter the Dark Side talks about how easy it is for a rich person to lose it all. You say the wrong thing, and you can lose it all very, very quickly. It doesn't take much to lose all your money. And how life is very different without money, because Ice-T talks about how he didn't have money when he started off, but he's always very careful with his money. He doesn't blow it on stuff. All the cars and things you see him drive in film clips and things, he rents them. He hires them out and then gives them back when he's finished, because it's all image. It's all that pop bubble. It's all fake, but it's very easy to lose everything. I find it very relatable to my own personal experience with what happened to me a few months ago, and having the rug pulled out from under me, and just realizing who my friends were and who wasn't really my friend, who wasn't looking out for me at all. The next song is called Bitch in the Pit, and it's to do with how they will do concerts and shows and things like that, and it's not a sexist song at all. It's to do with how they've got a mosh pit in front of most bands and things, but there's always one woman up the front and not scared to stage dive and do that sort of stuff, and she's more fearless than any of the guys that are there in the mosh pit. So that's basically celebrating them, as a bit of a shout out to them. Black Voodoo Sex is another track that is a follow-up from a previous track on another album, where he goes down to New Orleans, and it's basically rather a pornographic track, but just talks about how he has sex with this woman, or she has sex with him rather, at knife point, and it's all like voodoo. The next track is called Wannabe Gangster, and this one is basically telling kids you don't want to be in the hood, you don't want to be in a gang, you don't want to be in certain areas of the United States, because what's happening is the gangster lifestyle that came through the hip hop movement, that was sort of being glorified in the hip hop movement, and saying, oh, how cool is it to live in these ghettos, which is, it's sort of funny, like, because a lot of the film clips for hip hop and rap music were people, oh, look how much money I've got, and look at the car I drive, and look at all these bikini clad women, surrounding a swimming pool. But then they were juxtapositioned with shots of the ghetto. It's like, well, if you live in a ghetto, you're not going to have a swimming pool. You're not going to have bikini-clad babes surrounding you and stuff like that. So it's basically saying how a lot of the gangster stuff is fake. His goal was to always get out of the hood, get out of the ghettos, stay out, right? So he works to stay out of the ghetto, and then he turned around and then helped other people out of the ghetto. It's a brilliant, brilliant song. And the last track on the album is I Will Always Love You. And it's to do with how the Vietnam veterans and stuff, they went overseas, and when they came back, they were spat upon because the politics had changed while they were overseas. And this is to do with, this is basically a shout out to like veterans and people in the army who basically go off and fight and try and preserve democracy and freedom and whatever it is that they've got to do overseas. And it's tough. But very often they don't get the support that they need, the moral support that they need. I'm not a big fan of military or those who go out and, you know, kill other people for a living, but I would never, while I don't condone what they do, that part of things, and sometimes it is tough, sometimes they do have to do those sorts of things, but I would never disrespect them for choosing to do that. And it's a tough job. But anyway, that's the Body Count album. And I'm currently at 21 minutes. And I've done fairly well for having no material whatsoever. But yeah, I've got that out of the way. The Body Count Manslaughter album. And they're currently on the Rockstar Mayhem Festival, where you can see them live. And yeah. Oh, by the way, if you're a fan of the band Hatebreed, there are guest vocals on the album by Jamie Jaster. I hope I'm pronouncing that properly. But yeah, I love this album. I don't like every track on it, but I love quite a few of the tracks. Very motivational. That's the other thing about Ice-T's music. It's a lot of people, and Ice-T in general, people think he's a bad guy because he wrote a song called Cop Killer. And a lot of people think, oh, we shouldn't kill cops and all that sort of stuff. And you shouldn't. You shouldn't be killing anybody. And I talked about the song before, but I won't talk about it now. But yeah, he's a good guy, really. I met him in King William Street here in Adelaide in 1993, I think. And I got an autograph from him and the band, the guys from Body Count at the same time. So yeah, absolutely brilliant. Anyway, let's see. Oh yeah, I've got to go back and clean my backyard. I want to say thank you to the guys that shouted me a Nutella and banana crepe. If you've never tried Nutella and banana, I can thoroughly recommend it. The restaurant's called Mother's, I think. Mother's Crepes, I think they're called. It's one of the Japanese or Chinese, Asian shops. I don't want to say which one because I don't know, and I don't want to offend anybody. But it's next to like a chai latte bubble tea place as well. So you've got a place where you can order a crepe, and which is like a pancake, very thin pancake with different flavors. You name it. They got ice cream and stuff there as well, and then you can have like a bubble tea at the same time. I mean, that's ingenious. I think there's a lot of crepe shops that they do brilliant work, but they're going out of business for some reason, and I don't know why. But the combination of a crepe shop and a chai latte shop in the or bubble tea. If you've never had bubble tea, I'd thoroughly recommend it. I like normally just like a chocolate milk or something like that, but bubble tea I thoroughly recommend, and it helps out the local economy when you do stuff like that, and broadens your horizons when you try foods from other cultures. and stuff like that. I want to thank everybody from the bottom of my heart for tuning in and listening to me ramble on for the last 25 minutes or so. I'm not sure how long my outro is, but that's the way things are. And, Meme Busters. While I've got you all here, Meme Busters. I knew I should have written this down. With today's Meme Buster, there was a meme where it went viral. It was a homeless guy with a bucket in Germany, and apparently this guy said, can I come up and say, can I borrow your bucket? And the guy goes, yeah, okay. So he flips the bucket over and starts using it as a drum, and then his friends come up and they're playing guitar, and this girl starts singing as well, and then people start throwing money to a hat, and at the end of the video they give the money to the guy and then they walk off. Well, it turns out that the homeless guy that they helped, was an actor. He wasn't homeless at all. He was an actor. So just be careful when you're sharing stuff on Facebook, that just to do a bit of fact checking, make sure that it's true or not. Yeah. So I've got very, very, very limited material left. I've got nothing left. So I'm running on empty, and all the professional podcast doctors and stuff like that say, if you've got no material, stop recording, because you're drifting and boring people to tears. But anyway, thank you for tuning in for this long. I'm going to say goodbye for now, and I hope that you take today and the rest of this week easy like a Sunday morning. See you next week. Bye for now. Hello again. Guess what I forgot to do? I forgot to do a review of Guardians of the Galaxy. And this is what I'm going to do now. So thank you for listening to episode 20 of Easy Like a Sunday Morning. But it is somewhat incomplete. Guardians of the Galaxy is a fantastic movie. Absolutely phenomenal. I give it a 9 out of 10. And I'm usually a very harsh critic. The film itself grabs the viewer from the outset, and then just takes you on a roller coaster ride for the whole thing. Absolutely fantastic. Now, in my review on another channel, I highlighted that there was no swearing in the movie. However, the S-bomb is used a couple of times. I think the word bitch is used as well, and there's a few references to the word dick. But nothing nasty. There are a few adult concepts and visual gags and all that sort of stuff. You do have to pay attention to a lot of it. The acting is absolutely fantastic. For those of you who are fans of the comic and you're worrying, what does Thanos look like? He looks fantastic. He does appear in the film. Everybody does a fantastic job on this. The CGI guys, the actors, directing, writing, is just absolutely phenomenal. It's funny, it's heartwarming, and it's tragic at the same time. But it's very, very uplifting towards the end. And there's also a little cameo by a certain Marvel character who's rather obscure and I'd say long forgotten. However, it opens up the Marvel Universe a whole lot more, just to say, hey, we can put any character we want into our movies, and that's absolutely fantastic. Hopefully Sony will give up the rights to Spider-Man so Marvel can start doing proper Spider-Man movies again. But yeah, do see the movie. It gets my double thumbs up. I got a very, very awesome souvenir popcorn cup tin thing. Awesome stuff. Anyway, that's all from me today. And today's code word is Groot. That's Groot, Groot. And that's the name of the character, or one of the characters in Guardians of the Galaxy. Anyway, that's all for me. Finally, I will see you next week. Thank you for tuning in and for listening to this extra long show. Bye for now. You've just been listening to Easy Like a Sunday Morn. Thank you for tuning in each and every week. And if you really like the show, please click like on YouTube, Spreaker, Stitcher, TuneIn, and even iTunes. You can listen to the show pretty much on any format you like, and every rating review helps me to produce this show for free for you every single week. If you had feedback, comments, complaints, questions, suggestions, you can contact me on Twitter if you have a Twitter account at SHAIDO, that's Shido at Twitter, or you can send sound files and other emails to Shane_Lockwood at hotmail.com, or if you'd like to be on the show and to be interviewed, you can join me on Skype, which is how I do my interviews, at TheShaneLockwood on Skype. Once again, thank you for tuning in, and I will see you again next week. Bye for now.